morning pickle. Are you ready for some breakfast? Good morning, guys. Girls are sat down eating some breakfast. I'm checking my weather app right now. We are supposed to have swim lessons this morning, but we do them at our community pool with a private instructor. So it's outdoors and it looks like maybe storms today. So hoping that they don't get canceled. Today I'm gonna be sharing what I eat in a day following my calorie deficit and intermittent fasting plan while I work on my health and weight loss goals. This morning I did get a honey wheat sourdough bread dough put together. I needed to make more sandwich bread for the week, and last night I was noticing my sourdough starter, Winnie, was looking a little sad. I had accidentally not fed her for like 2 days and left her on the counter. So I did just like a maintenance feed on her last night before going to bed, just because I didn't want her to get dried out. And this morning when I woke up and came into the kitchen, I saw she was still at peak rise. And there's something about like when your sourdough starter is at peak rise, I never want to waste it. So I knew I needed to make more sandwich bread for this week anyway. So I just went ahead and whipped that up this morning. I do have some other little meal prep things to get done. So I'm gonna take advantage of time this morning before we go to swim lessons and get some of those breakfast burritos prepped for the week. If it's a rainy afternoon, it'll also be the perfect time for the girls to help me make some mini muffins and get other little things prepped for the week, like our veggie tray. It's only been 2 days since we went grocery shopping, but we've already blown through like half the fruit somehow that I bought on Monday. This is having kids home. There's never fruit in the house. It's all just gone the second I buy it. Lila's knowingly winking at me. They're little fruit monsters. I love it though. It is just about 8 o'clock, so I am ready to break my IF window for the morning. I had been doing 10 to 6 or 8 to 4, but lifestyle-wise over the summer, it's really important to me that I eat dinner with my family together, and it's been really just too hard to wait all the way until 10 a.m. to start my coffee for the day. So I'm just doing 8 to 6. And it's been working for me so far. The biggest part of intermittent fasting that's helped me is just cut out those like evening cravings and wanting like snicky snacks at night. So it gives me like that earlier stop point in the day of my eating window, and I am still feeling nice and hungry when I wake up in the morning, like my body has had time to digest and reset. I feel like I have noticed so much bloating gone with intermittent fasting and just drinking extra water at night, because it helps curb away the hunger too. So I think it's been going really well. I'll have a weight loss update for you guys here in the next week or so with videos. So to get started this morning, I'm gonna go ahead and make my coffee for the morning at 8, and then around 10 o'clock, I'll have my first meal of the day. Usually I've been doing like 2 larger meals and then just a snack focused on protein in the middle of the day. So that's the plan. Coffee this week, I have my cold brew pitcher that I prepped a couple days ago. This usually lasts me when I make a full pitcher of cold brew. If Josh isn't drinking it, he usually drinks hot coffee, and it's just me. It'll normally last me like 3 mornings. Some mornings I like to like supercharge my cold brew. So I'm just gonna add some instant espresso powder for a shot of espresso in my iced coffee. Last night, I accidentally fell asleep early while Josh and I were watching a show on the couch. But then my problem is always when we go to bed, I fall asleep, and then within an hour, I wake up and I'm up then for like another 2 hours trying to get back to sleep for the rest of the night. So a little tired this morning. Not too bad though, but I definitely am not gonna say no to my supercharged cold brew option. Nora already finished her breakfast, but Lila's sitting here finishing eating, and she's just smirking away at me. Is mommy being funny filming? You're such a big girl. You're usually at school now when I film what I eat in a days. She's like, Mom, what are you doing? I'm so weird. All right, then I add cold brew. About a cup. Tablespoon of maple syrup, and 3 of half and half. And then these are coffee ice cubes. I take any of the leftover hot coffee from our coffee pot when Josh makes it and just pop it in my silicone mini muffin pan. And that way we don't waste it. Hello, chefs.
Can I help?
Yeah, here, put that one in. Thank you.
Coffee on my fingers.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wash your hands. Thanks, Nor. And a little stir. And that's gonna be my morning coffee. Hopefully it wakes me up. I know, buddy. I'm meal prepping some breakfast burritos for the week. I set up my station and I got out the low carb wraps I'm going to be using. These are a game changer when it comes to meeting your fiber goals for the day. One wrap pretty much gets me all of my fiber I need for the day for my macros. I filled it with some seasoned air fried potatoes, cooked crumbled sausage, a mushroom and green bell pepper blend that I had leftover veggies from, so I chopped them up and put them in my freezer until I needed to use them for a meal like this. A little bit of scrambled egg for more protein, and a sprinkle of mozzarella cheese. I did a tight burrito wrap on these guys and wrapped them up in foil. I added the extra burritos to a gallon freezer Ziploc bag so I could pop them in the fridge for this week for Josh and I. And if I had any leftovers or ones I thought we weren't going to get to in time, we can just transfer them to the freezer to be pulled out another week. These are a great on-the-go savory breakfast option. Lots of protein, lots of fiber. I like to have some plain unfat Greek yogurt as a dip on the side for even more protein. So I promise I didn't forget about you guys. It is not nighttime. It is pitch black outside, thunderstorming for the last 30 minutes. So unfortunately we are pushing our swim lessons, but we're gonna kind of wait and see how the weather does this afternoon. That's the nice thing about, it's a mom I know from the area who does private swim lessons, and because it's like just one-on-one, we can kind of be flexible and deal with the weather here in Houston. It's thunderstorming 1 minute and sunny dry skies the next, so we're gonna take it how it goes. I did go ahead and get ready for the pool, but the weather has rolled in. It's just around 10:30 now. I just made a huge batch of my breakfast burritos. So the girls and I are hanging out at the house now. I'm doing loads of laundry while we're stuck inside because of the rain. They're watching a movie and playing with some toys in the playroom. Hopefully, I'm hoping we have a gap in the rain here and we can run out to Costco. There's a couple little things I need for the midweek run. And also it's just something to do to get out of the house with the kids when it's raining. And hopefully the weather will be clear up by this afternoon so we can head to the pool. Having a little protein snack before we head out on our errands. I have 20 pieces of turkey pepperoni, a light string cheese, and 1 ounce of peanuts. We made it out of the house. The rain has finally stopped. It has been a busy morning. We have crafted, we have played, we baked muffins, we made that bread that I needed to make, the sandwich loaf bread. But now, where are we heading, girls?
To Costco.
And the pool, hopefully. They're all ready to go. Their swimsuits and shorts. And hopefully we will stop by the pool afterwards. The rain has stopped. And hopefully our swim instructor will be able to meet us and we'll squeeze in your swim lesson. I know you've been so excited about it. So hopefully we get to go.
We do one hard thing every time we go to swim lessons.
That's right. We add one new hard thing that we try and we practice in between, right? Because hard things are hard, but we just practice one thing at a time. So anyway, we're gonna pop into Costco, go grab a couple things that I need for the rest of the week, drop that off at home, and hopefully head to the pool. We even found a dry cart.
Hug.
Brace yourself. Or you want a hug? Okay. We're going into the produce. She needs produce section cuddles. It's too cold. Some grapes. Rotisserie chicken. Have it in stock today. Dr. Pepper. It's on sale today. That's a good price. We're all out of our nuggets. And we need these because we're going to use them for our orange chicken later this week.
I love dumplings.
Did you have a dumpling sample?
Yep.
You did. And Nora, what sample did you try?
I tried a ham.
You had some lunch meat ham. It was okay.
Yeah.
That was a quick one. 5 items, 50 bucks. Well, unfortunately, the pool is still closed, even though the rain is done for the afternoon. I'm not sure if they're going to open again or not this afternoon, so we went ahead and canceled swim lessons, but we came over to our playground, and there's a splash pad as well. Since the girls and I are both in our swimsuit wear anyway, they're going to go play and have fun, get some energy out. I did run inside back home first to drop off our Costco groceries, and while I was there, I made a protein soda, which is one of my new favorite ways to drink a protein shake. I used the Clean Simple Eats coconut cream flavor with Dr. Pepper Zero that I picked up at Costco on ice. It's so good. It reminds me of like the Swig or Sonic drinks where you can get the coconut cream dirty sodas. And it's only 110 calories and 20 grams of protein. Okay, we made it back from the splash pad. Thankfully the weather's holding out, so hopefully I am getting dinner started now and we'll be able to cook it on the grill still like planned. Tonight on our meal plan, we are doing chicken Caesar sliders. This was a recipe that my oldest daughter, Lila, picked out. She sometimes sits with me while I'm like searching for recipe inspo on TikTok or Pinterest or YouTube. Sorry if you hear toys going off in the background. Kids are cleaned up and playing. So hopefully I can get dinner on the table without interruption. Although they both told me they want to help with something. So I'm gonna try and find something that each of them can help with me in the kitchen, especially Lila, since she helped pick tonight's dinner. She wants to help me make it. We need to get our slider buns prepped. This is the same recipe that I've shared before for homemade hamburger buns, but honestly, it's a really light and fluffy bread bun, and it can be used for hamburgers. You can shape them for hot dogs. I'm gonna be making them slightly smaller, and I can use them as like mini sandwich rolls as sliders for tonight. I added the dough hook to my KitchenAid. This really mixes dough well for breads. Hi Lila, you gonna help me?
Hello.
You helping? Yeah, okay. This isn't a sourdough recipe, this is a yeasted bread recipe. I love it because I can make it within an hour of kneading it, so I don't need as much pre-planning as when I make sourdough. First ingredient is 1 cup of warm water. And I'm adding that to 2 tablespoons of yeast. Give it just a quick little stir to combine it together. And then we're just gonna let that hang out, and it's gonna get frothy in just a couple minutes. Josh just got home, so Lila abandoned me to go play with him. Okay, you come do one, Nor. You wanna come do one, Nor? Okay, so we need to pour in our sugar. Good job. It's a 1/4 cup of sugar. Hang on, that's a little bit warm. This is a 1/3 cup of melted butter. I did let it cool for a few minutes while this was frothing up, so it's not too hot to kill the yeast. All right, and then I'm just gonna mix those together. The next ingredient is 1 whisked up egg. My eggs were in the fridge and it calls for it to be room temperature, so a quick little trick is just taking a glass of some warm water and popping your egg, shell and all, inside the water to let it sit for a few minutes. This has just been sitting while I prepped the other ingredients. Now we're gonna be able to crack it and whisk it and add it in. Need my egg cracker?
Yep.
All right, in there, no shells. Good job. Oh, that's okay. It's just the whole top half. No little shells. Nice. All right, now grab a fork, little fork, and whisk it up until all the yellow and white are mixed together. All right, it's gotten nice and fluffy while we were mixing up our egg. Lila, go ahead and add the egg in there. Can you get it? Oh, good job. And 1 teaspoon of salt. All right, and then we're gonna mix this up. Go ahead and lock it for me and turn it on over here. Put it on like a medium speed.
Like 1?
Like a 3. That's good.
There is no 3.
Oh, is it going even numbers? Last step is gonna be 3 cups of all-purpose or bread flour. So 3 cups total in. Lock it up, Lou. You got it. Okay, lock first. Now on.
What do you say? A
Like
1 or a 2?
2 start, so it doesn't get poofy. There you go, let it go. And we're gonna let this incorporate, and it's probably gonna mix for about 5 or 6 minutes total. You want the dough to get nice and smooth and elastic. This is after kneading for about 5 minutes, so like it's soft for sure and a little sticky, but like it's not sticking to me. That's what you want. I portioned my dough out into 12 equal pieces since we're doing the slider size buns. I had weighed my dough out in total and then divided that by 12 to figure out how big they needed to be. Mine needed to be about 2.5 ounces each. I like to measure mine out because when they're all the exact same size, I know they're cooking uniformly and they'll all be cooked through the middle at the same time. And then I'm just gonna take each ball of dough, kind of flatten it out and pull all the edges in towards the middle. This is like the same method if you've seen me make sourdough bagels. Pinch it all in so it's all together. And then on a lightly floured counter, I'm gonna push the dough away from me, and then using my hand in a circular motion, spin it back. Push it forward, spin it back. And by doing that, it creates a very nice tight little ball with lots of tension, which is good for rising. And then I'll add that to my tray and start the next one. Flatten it out like a pizza. Turn all the edges in towards the middle. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Again, if they get a little too sticky, just add a little flour. Push and pull. Push and pull. Just a couple times each. There you go. Once all of our buns are shaped, I have them on a parchment lined baking sheet, and I have my oven preheating to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm just gonna cover them with a damp towel, and these are just gonna hang out while my oven preheats for the next 20 minutes so they can rise. While I'm waiting for my bread to rise, I'm getting started on my chicken cutlets. I had 4 large chicken breasts that was boneless and skinless. I butterflied each of them so they were a little bit thinner, covered them in some plastic wrap, and now I'm gonna use a heavy rolling pin just to kind of smash them a little bit flatter. We want them thin. Now listen, this probably isn't your Nona's chicken cutlet recipe. This is quick weeknight dinner. I gotta get moving on dinner and feed the kids. But as thin as you can get them, and then we're gonna do a simple coating, dip them in some egg wash, and then into some panko or Italian breadcrumb that's seasoned to your preference with some salt or pepper or garlic. If you wanna try this a little bit lower carb, either skip the breading and do a grilled chicken cutlet, or if you still want that crunch, you can use something called pork panko. These are essentially pork rinds that are ground into a powder. Just like breadcrumbs, I've used them before to make homemade chicken nuggets that were a little bit lower carb friendly. Just be careful and make sure you don't cook them at too high of a heat or they can burn kind of easily. Lila came back to help with one. All right, so we're gonna grab a chickie, scoop, pop it in the egg wash. Hang on, let it get all the way in there. Okay, and we're gonna turn it over. Okay, give it a pat in there, keep the egg in the bowl. Okay, and now we're gonna stick the chicken with pork and put it on the breadcrumb plate. Okay, and then tap it down so it gets nice and covered. Good job. Hang on, let's flip it. Get the coating all over. Good job. Your Nona, Daddy's great grandma, your great great grandma, is that right, Josh? Would be proud. Unfortunately, this isn't her recipe. Don't tell her. Here's all of our cutlets, and luckily the rain is holding out. So Joshua, to the grill.
Grill time.
Grill time, thank you. So just flipping them one side to the other. What internal temp do they have for your fish chicken?
165.
All right, until they reach internal 165, and you just put down some avocado oil spray so they don't stick and they toast up. A lot better than deep frying them. We're not done yet. Chicken's on the grill. I'm just about to pop the buns in the oven. They only need about 8 minutes. They'll be nice and golden on top. If you were to use a thermometer, they'll reach an internal temperature of 200 degrees Fahrenheit. That's how you know if they're cooked all the way through. So I'm gonna get those in. Josh just brought in the chicken. Smells delicious. I just mixed up a super quick Caesar salad topping for these sandwiches. It's about half a head of iceberg lettuce chopped real fine. I used a 1/4 cup of this creamy Caesar dressing that I found at HEB. This one's nice, it has no high fructose corn syrup. It's about 150 calories for 2 tablespoons. But again, this is gonna be for like the whole family because you're just gonna add like a handful of it onto the sandwich. Usually I like the Greek yogurt dressing. I even buy a Caesar one in the bottle. I think it's Boathouse Farms. That one's really good. It's lower calorie. I think it's in like the 40 to 45 calorie range per serving. This is what I could find when I was at the store the other day. And again, it's a 1/4 cup, but split between 4 servings. So it's not gonna add too much in the end to my total for the calories. And then we'll add a sprinkle of Parmesan along with it. And those are gonna be our sandwiches. It has been a busy day in the end. After our slow rainy morning start, I am getting dinner in just before the end of my IF window. But I'm actually fairly low on calories for the day, so I'm gonna go ahead and have a sandwich with the family. If I was worried about fitting a smaller amount of calories in for dinner before my IF window closed, skip the bun and just do the salad style. But I'm gonna enjoy the same meal as my family and stay in my calorie deficit and IF window. Those are my current goals right now, and we did that today. Lila, what do you think of the recipe you picked out this week? How many out of 10 stars? Would you make it again?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10? It's not surprising. My little food critic.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Room for improvement for Nora. She's my one that's hard to please. Got the kitchen cleaned up and the kids to bed, and I'm ending my night with some 0-calorie tea. Anyway, I'm gonna have that, and that's it for tonight. So thanks so much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
But I get up, I always do. I never think